Hi all. Hello. Welcome all to a new episode of Mallu Talks Arsenal. Yes, so we are here to, as promised, that now we have bringing you a new episode, a new segment in our channel, and we have discussed about this in our latest live and everything that we are going to introduce some new segments. So yes, today we are gonna go with new segment called Mallu Talks Arsenal presents Gooners Union. So for that we have brought a couple of Gooners from Arsenal Bangalore to have a discussion on our team on how things are going progressing, and let's I'm very much um, excited to hear their thoughts about it. So yes, let's add them to our stream. So yes, let me add another host. Deepak is with us. Hi Deepak, welcome to the stream. Can we add our Bangalore Gunners to the stream?
Yeah. I'm most excited to see what their thoughts are on Arsenal, and let's hope that this unites all the Arsenal fans from India. So let's
Yes,
this be the
let's
start for our English side of
exactly
podcast. Yeah.
exactly. Let's add Nay, Gautam. Hello, guys. Hi, Vinay. Hi, Gautam. Hi, Ankur. How are you guys? Welcome.
Hello,
By the way,
hello,
welcome
good
to
evening, guys.
Hi
yes,
guys.
welcome
Thank
to Mallu
you for
Talks
having us.
Arsenal. Sorry, all good?
Yeah,
Hi.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
yeah. We're all audible, right? We are both audible for you guys.
Yes.
yes, audible.
Great. So happy to have you all here in this podcast. So we have been in discussion to involve some of the Gooners from around our country as well. So it's been a really great pleasure to host you guys from Arsenal Bangalore team. So yes, I'm not gonna say too much about this, but yes, I would really love if you could all introduce yourself from your side. I'll start with Vinay. Vinay, bro, could you just have a intro of yourself and about say something about your Bangalore Arsenal Bangalore group and community?
Sure. First and foremost, thanks so much, and Deepak, for having us on the show. Lovely to be a part. So, in terms of Arsenal Bangalore, we've been there from 2006. I think started as a small group of people wanting to watch Arsenal. Got officially recognized somewhere around 2011, 12. Um, Going strong about 12 years on. A family of close to 500 registered members and counting. And yeah, all end of the day core Arsenal fans at heart. So in terms of me, well, I am probably the oldest in our group, in my 40s now. So been a fan of the Arsenal for about 25 years now. So yeah, lovely to be a part. I know most of you personally as well. So it's just among one of those games that we're going to talk about and feels like we are home.
Yeah.
Great, wonderful. Yes, Ankur, bro, have your say.
Hi. First of all, thanks Deepak and Arun for inviting us here, and it's a great privilege to be part of Mallu Talks Arsenal. So I am basically born and brought up in Jamshedpur, which is a city in Jharkhand, but been in Bangalore from since 2013. Uh, since the day I was in Bangalore, I have been associated with Arsenal Bangalore. Arsenal Bangalore is like a kind of a second family for me, a home away from home. So yeah, it's very nice to be around Gunners, watch the games, go for screenings. So yeah, lovely to
Yeah.
be part of.
Yeah.
Great. And finally, on to you, Gautam, bro.
Yeah, guys, thank you for calling us on Mallu Talks Arsenal. I've been an Arsenal fan since 2005 6, but I have been trying to attempt to join the screenings for a while, but in the last 2 years, I've been quite a regular to the team, right? I have known that the screenings is going on from ages, but due to my own personal time and work, I was not always available. But since work has reduced, I've always wanted to ensure that I regularly join the screenings, which I made sure I've been doing for the last 2 years. So happy to also say that I've joined the core team of Arsenal Bangalore. So that is one achievement I would like to put on myself as well. And yes, happy to be here with you guys.
Yes, yes, happy as for us as well. So yes, we are very excited to have this discussion on like a podcast and make this thing happen every month, once in a month or once in 2 weeks. Depends on our schedule, but yeah, so excited to have this discussion going on. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we are all happy with yesterday's win. So by the way, this the recording is done after yesterday's 3-1 victory over Southampton at home. So yes, it wasn't really a kind of a bit in pieces nervous game, but did it in the end. But let's I'm not gonna we definitely have a discuss on yesterday's match. But before that, I'd like to get into the top, start the discussion by a question that I would like to ask you guys. Um, this we know it's been 20 years since we have won a Premier League. Yeah, it's been a long time since we had a Premier League. So there's a drought over there. We have been competing it for the last 2 years as well. So it's a bit. I know it's something that we really want to acquire, but at the same time, there is one other trophy that we have never won as well. That is the UEFA Champions League as well. So my question to you guys is: would you prefer a Premier League title or a Champions League trophy at this point of stage? Yes, I would like to start with yeah, Vinay bro only. I'll ask you Vinay bro. How would you like to have a Premier League trophy this season or a Champions League? How do you see the season?
Probably the easiest answer or the easiest question you could have asked. As you rightly said, 21 years. If we go into 25, not even an iota of doubt. Premiership is bigger, greater, tougher to win. If you offer me, I'll offer my right hand if we ever to win the Premier League. Champions League, of course, the glamour trophy and all of that, the elite, all said and done. Simply put, an answer for your question: Premiership over the Champions League any day, any given day.
Very nice. I like the bold statement. Yes. Moving into Ankuro, what do you think? Which one do you prefer?
For me also, I'll just resonate what Vinay said. I have been a fan of Arsenal since 2006, 2007. I haven't seen us winning the Premier League live. I have heard a lot of stories. I have watched a lot of documentaries, read a lot of books. Yes, Champions League is the European glory, but Premier League is a much tougher and a much bigger star to have or an award to have in your cabinet. So it has to be of the Premier League for me. And especially looking at the fact that last 2 years, how we have been so close, I would take the Premier League any day.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gautam, bro, I'll just tweak the question a bit for you. Like,
Yeah.
will it be more like what to say, more passionate or more important for Arteta to win the Premier League this season just so that he can be part of the elite group that we say for the last decade? It's been Klopp and Pep, right? So adding
Mm,
Arteta to that with
mm.
Man City being looked out by Pep still, so winning that over him, would that be a boost for us, or is it just that Arteta is already in the elite levels?
See, if you put it for me, especially, see, I remember like not watching, I was hearing about the Arsenal and how we used to play and how important the Champions League was to our Wenger, right? The regret he has of missing out on that final. How each and every player, if you guys have seen the documentary, how Henry, Pires, all these guys talk about that one final against Barcelona, how important it was, right? So you can understand the resonance of that trophy, and these are serial winners, right? By that time,
Yeah,
Thierry Henry had won the World Cup, the Euros. He had won everything that a player needed to win, right? But he still had
Yeah.
the hunger to ensure that this club that he loves needed a Champions League. And a club of Arsenal's stature deserves a Champions League, right? Yes, Premier
Yeah.
League, yes, I understand my fellow Gooners this thing, and I would love to win the Premier League, right? Trust me, I keep yelling at these guys to change the chance of on the way to Champions League to on the way winning the Premier League as well. Ankur remembers this very well, right? But the
Yeah.
prestige of that Champions League victory is very important to put out to our notch, right? Because we will be the only, let us say, the elite top club in England without a European trophy, right? That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
something that I want to get rid of. And that is where I believe that the Champions League is important. Because see, we know we can beat the Premier League, right? The only thing is it's difficult to beat Pep, and I understand why it's difficult to beat Pep. It's not easy, right?
Yeah.
I
You
get.
need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have a one of beautiful season like how Pep had a bad season when Klopp had an unbelievable season, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only way you can beat Pep. Otherwise, it's not easy. But it is easier because of how competitive the Champions League is this time. Bigger teams will lose out. See what's happening to Real Madrid,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deepak,
right?
could I
Because
just
the
follow
format is
that line
slightly
to that?
different this time.
Yeah, Vinay, yeah, I just want to like, yeah. So, winning this Champions League, this is a question to Vinay. So, winning this Champions League, this is a new format, right? So, there will be a moment or a memory for everyone that the new format, the first team to win would be Arsenal. So, considering that as a fact as well, winning the Champions League, would it not give us uh, more remembrance to everything like that based on that? Yeah.
No, I get the point what you and Gautam are trying to make. See, we're not undermining winning the Champions League at all. It's obviously the elite. Everyone looks at have you got a Champions League medal. End of the day, Premiership is your league, right? It's the UK league. But just going to your question, you asked Gautam, in terms of Mikel being considered as elite along with Klopp and Pep. Let's say ask the same question and reverse it to any Liverpool fan. They had won the Champions League in 2006, the famous Istanbul one, 2005,
Yeah.
2006, something like that. And then ask them like, would you be fine with it, even with Klopp around, not having won the Premiership? I can almost guarantee you, every Liverpool fan will say, no, no, we would want to win the Premiership because they had not won it in 30 years. And remember, Klopp's legacy is the Premiership. If Liverpool fans ask anyone who follows them quite well, even if they win the Champions League, which they did, the fact remains that the winning the Premiership is what, and that too against the dominant Man City led by Pep, and going toe to toe in those 3 seasons, which are arguably the 3 greatest seasons the Premiership ever saw, along with say the United and Arsenal rivalries, early 90s and early 2000s. I think if you were to ask it, I would still say the Premiership ranks above the Champions League. Uh, so would most people, and it's got to do with the fact that we haven't won it in 21 years, 20 years now. 21st season haven't won it. So if Arteta is going to be considered in the breadth of Pep and Klopp, and if he does win the new format of the Champions League but does not end up winning the Premier League, I would still say it falls short. But
Yeah.
if you tell
No,
me
but
that we're going
Vinay,
to win the new format or old format, but we're going to win only the Champions League and not the Premier League, as an Arsenal fan,
no, no, Vinay, it's not like
I would
that.
still consider it lesser.
Yeah, see what? Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, Vinay. I
Yeah.
meant that this season, right? We can always win the Premier League next season, right? My point being is that when you're supposed to see, the only reason the Liverpool fans wanted a Premiership trophy is because they haven't won it for 30 years, and they have bottled it quite some time before as well with Gerrard, right? So they did not want their greatest ever manager and their greatest ever player not to have the Premiership trophy, right?
I
That
get,
was their prerogative. Now,
I get
but
it.
what we feel is
I
see,
get
one question I'll ask you, like, we win the Premier League this year and Tottenham win the Champions League this year. What will you go for?
absolutely,
That was
absolutely.
predicted.
If we win the Premiership, Tottenham wins all 3 other cups. I have no problems.
and
It doesn't
Champions
really
League,
matter. I
and
don't
Champions League.
consider them in our league
No,
at
no,
all.
and UCL also.
Absolutely. I have no problem. Premiership matters more than anything else. And honestly, Spurs are not in our league. I don't even consider them as rival.
No, no.
We are talking a
See,
level above.
I'm just giving. Because I remember this distinctly. The hate that we used to give out when they were in the finals to ensure that they lose that final, because it is a prestige of winning a European trophy before us, right?
I get the
Because
prestige.
then Tottenham's legacy would be, yes, we can't beat you in England, but in Europe we have one trophy more than you, right?
Remember, they were
That
closer. They were
basically
closer than us. They were closer than us to win the Champions League. 2006, we lost in
no,
the finals, and they lost in the
that
finals
was
much more.
yeah, that is recent history. Yes, because we never focused on the Champions League, right?
I think
Yeah,
we were
I'll
not
just
good enough.
yeah, I'll just interrupt you guys. So Ankur has not been talking for a moment. So I'll just
No,
ask.
no.
Yeah, no, just wanted to bring in another point here. So Vinay was saying like Arsenal has been like Arsenal wants the Premier League, like he wants the Premier League more because we have not won it for 20 years. But should we not consider that Arsenal is the only big six club, or like not the leaving out Tottenham,
Big club.
other elite clubs? We have not. We are the only team not having a European trophy at all. So Liverpool had trophies before, European trophies. It's just the 30 years gap that they didn't have the Premier League. That's the reason why their fans wanted Premier League more. For us, if we take one step ahead, if you say Premier League 1 point to win it and Champions League together, you can only focus one. Why won't we not think Champions League, a European trophy, that would be it, because we don't have it anymore? We have not got it anymore. Like once, yeah,
See, I get your point and get the sentiment around being the European champions, but there is one. While you were asking me the question, you mentioned a term that one step closer. So for me, this might be a controversial uh, output or controversial point out there, but I still feel that if we are talking about one step, Premier League is the first step that you take, and then you elevate that step to become the European champions.
yeah,
See, we all glorify Real Madrid has won 16 European championship, but they also have won a hell number of La Ligas as well.
yeah.
So for me, it's a step up. You are the England champion, you are champions of England, and then you are champions of Europe as well. So for
Okay,
me, it's the Premier League that matters more currently. If you give me an option, winning the Premier League by 1 point and crashing out of Champions League in to ensure that crash out of Champions League in round of 16, I would take that. Another thing is that I would little expanding this discussion. I feel this squad we currently have is a thinner squad to be able to compete into the Champions League. We have a lot of young players who needs a lot of experience. So I would rather spend couple of seasons playing in the Champions League, gaining that experience for our young guys out there, win the Premier League, and eventually level it up by winning the Champions League.
Yes.
perfect.
I'm
Um,
just gonna.
I,
Yeah. Sorry. Some
yeah,
Gautam was saying.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
The only reason I point out the Champions League all the time is because of, see, it's very easy to remember how many Champions League Real Madrid won compared to the La Liga trophies, right? I know hardcore Real Madrid fans who don't know whether it's 35, 36, 37, how many league trophies they have won. But they know how many Champions trophies they have won, because it is like a prestige tournament that people, right? I agree with the guys that we need to win something before, right? Because our team is not yet ready to compete in every single competition. But the advantage that is why I feel this year is because this is a year for people like Pep and people like Arteta who love the what do you call, the longer format of a tournament, right? If this format, I believe this format was there every year, Pep could have won more Champions Leagues by, because he prefers the longer format of the game. right? And that is why he's been more successful in winning leagues than he's been in Champions League. That's why I believe Ancelotti is a better knockout manager than anyone else because he can win a game on that day. Now,
Yeah,
I feel Arteta lacks the same thing. Winning a game on that day is quite difficult for him at times, but he's learning from it. But over a period of time, we always tend to dominate and pick up the points. That is why I feel personally, because of how this year has been structured for the Champions League, that's what I felt. If the Champions League was in the older format, I would have felt, yeah, let's go ahead because it's a one-off game. Anything can happen here and there.
Yeah,
See, when
definitely.
Gotham, the format is there to stay. It's not a one season format. Or like I would like to disagree with Deepak, the point that he had mentioned. I don't think so. Anybody will care that you are the first champion of the elongated format or the wider format of Champions League. You won the Champions League, you have won the Champions League in 2024, 2025. And the longer format is here to stay. So
yeah,
might as well give it a shot next season if we win the Premier League. Might as well give it a shot the season after that. It will always remain the longer format of Champions League, at least for few seasons. I don't see, unless there is a huge backlash from the clubs and all, which I don't see because wider league means there are more participation of the clubs. So
yeah,
I don't think so. Change of format will change the gravity of the tournament. It still remains the Europe's elite competition, be it with how many ever teams. So the
yeah,
hardly
Yeah.
matters.
Okay, I'll just jump in and one because it's a question of Premier League or Champions League. I just want to take on the of the Mikel Arteta regime. It's been here for like he's been here for five years. It's his fifth season in charge, I believe. So do you think that this is a like a break or make, like he need to win something, rather Premier League, Champions League, Carabao, FA Cup, whatever it is, and anything? Do you think that we should win at least any one of those trophies, or it's a very unsuccessful season? Like for the couple of seasons we have had this issue where we compete for the league, but we then focus on one thing and we just don't prioritize the smaller domestic cups. And is that an issue? Do you think that if we can focus on smaller domestic cups and win them, and that can create a winning mentality or a hunger for winning more to these young group of players, that can improve our chances of competing for the bigger trophies? So is it like when you take first step, you win the Carabao Cup, or what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on it? Yeah,
Can I
Vinay,
go
Vinay,
first?
yeah,
Okay, Vinay, go first. Fine.
Vinay.
Okay. Um, this was almost identical to what Jose Mourinho used to do before. Um, what he would do with his team, if you look across, was the format that you said, which is start winning the domestic trophies, push it on to that winning mentality of winning anything that he competed, he would at least ensure a trophy, and then go on to the bigger prizes. Sorry. Now, the question you asked with regards to Arteta, I'll answer it in two ways. If Mikel Arteta does not win the Premier League or Champions League, does it make him unsuccessful at Arsenal? Straight answer for me, no. I wouldn't have had this kind of confidence in any other manager across the world right now, who I believe will be able to win it for us rather than Mikel. I wouldn't swap it for him for anybody in this world. But is he going to be like getting a lifetime pass that he can continue saying that we are going to finish second every time, making it like probably the second best team in the country after City? No, he's not going to get that because no modern manager like will have the way that somebody like a Ferguson, Mourinho, or Arsene could. So Mikel is going to be held accountable if he does not win the Premiership or the Champions League. Um, I won't say this season because he just got his renewal done, but I think next season the sounds may get louder even among the fans that we are doing everything well, but we are just not winning what matters. But if you ask me, give him a lifetime contract. I can't think of a better manager than him for Arsenal.
Very true, very true. Is that the same thing with you, Ankur, as well? Is it you
Uh,
think or any other options you can?
in a way, yes, because Mikel has won trophies. He has won FA Cup with probably one of the weakest squads we had in a long time. He has won Community Shield. For yes, people might not call it as a trophy. For me, Community Shield is still a trophy. Carabao Cup, I don't know. We haven't won in eternity, so Carabao Cup, we don't even know. But having said that, uh, there is a certain manager whom we shall not name, whom we don't want to get sacked, might get sacked. That manager has been winning trophies in the past seasons, and that manager has been saying out loud that I am the one who gives trophies, who has been giving trophies every season. Does that make him a good manager? For us rival fans, he is the greatest manager of all time. We all love him. But yeah, so that doesn't matter, right? When it comes to the elite or the most important league, we know where they are. So for me, as Vinay said, because Mikel has been awarded a new contract, I don't think that this season there would be a pressure on him to must and deliver a trophy. But yeah, maybe the next season or season after that, if there is no silverware, there might be some noises. And loyalty in football is something I think we have lost, be it in players or managers in the recent time. We will not have a manager ever, I feel, who will stay in a club for 10 years, 12 years, and so on and so forth. So there will be pressure, and irrespective, I feel if Mikel ends up delivering all the trophies that we have or he wins, still there will be a time where people will move on. So that's the part of the game that's become football right now.
Before
Okay,
that,
great.
just one line from my side. I think if Arteta does not win the Premiership, I'm just sticking to Premiership. His contract extension is for 3 years, I think, which he signed. I don't think so. He will
Yeah.
stay beyond that. Just my thought.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he will stay.
Okay.
Even after winning trophies, like
No,
even if he wins the trophies, uh,
If
no.
he wins the Premiership, he stays. Else he doesn't. I think he himself will leave. I think it's a project. It's like any of the project. All of us, I think, work on projects. If we don't deliver, you can be moved to another project, but I don't think so. It will go on for an eternity. I think he will take it on himself, moral high ground, and say like, "I've done it all, but I don't think so. I'm able to take it to the next level. I'm going to walk off." This will
Oh,
probably be his last contract if he does not win.
okay.
yeah, very interesting.
And
That's a very interesting conversation, but I just never had a thought of because I was expecting him to be that for like a next Arsene Wenger-esque kind of a manager, but yeah,
No,
you
we'll
never
not
know.
have another manager in football who will stay for 10, 15. Maybe uh, Simeone is the last of the lot. Apart from, I
Hmm.
don't think so, anyone will be there. As Vinay said, I also agree. If he doesn't win the Premier League, maybe this is the last contract agreement that he has signed. But if he wins the Premier League, which I believe he definitely will, then we may have Arteta for a couple of more seasons.
yeah,
Great,
so
great.
let's move on to Gautam. I just have a question, and I'll deviate in a way that, like, he was focused on more Champions League, and like these Ankur and Vinay are focused on Premier League. So that's the ultimate end. So, is it not? Will it not be good if Arsenal focuses more on getting the Carabao Cup this time? The only reason being, it's in a there's a trophy that we are going to win in January. Will it not boost our players to focus, like, to win a trophy at the ultimate and either the Premier League or the Champions League? So will it not boost our confidence more, Gautam?
Deepak, you literally took my first line out of my mouth. So my point of view was going to be: if you win the Carabao Cup, as it is the earliest trophy you win, you get the confidence. See, the one thing I feel this team lacks right now is actual winners, right? Yes, we have people who have come winning from other clubs, but they haven't. Tell me the player who's still remaining from the FA Cup victory.
Yeah. No
Um,
one.
yeah, that's true. I mean, from the squad, none. I
So
believe everyone has.
that
Partey.
no one remember.
Yeah,
So,
party.
I
Yes.
mean, he
no,
was
Thomas Partey.
no, Partey came
he's
after the
he we
after the.
party came after that season, no? It was
Yeah.
Mikel's
Okay.
first this thing.
Tierney
So
maybe.
guys, one
Yeah, I think
Tierney,
Tierney.
I'm
yes.
sorry. I'm planning to.
No, no,
I'm
no,
thinking of Tierney.
no, no, no,
Yeah, Tierney.
no, no, Tierney, because there are one or two players. I remember it was Shaka and someone else. So I'm assuming it is Tierney now, right? But see, Tierney is still not part of the squad like how he used to be, right? But
Yeah.
they have not seen us win anything, right?
Yeah.
They have not seen us win anything. Now the point is, see, it is not that difficult to focus on the Carabao Cup. All you need to do is you need to focus on the matches around it. Now let us assume you have matches against lower lying oppositions, right? Like this Saturday, he did. Let us assume against Southampton we had a match, and we had a match against a lower lying team in Carabao Cup, right?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
Yeah.
easier to manage. Now the other way around is very difficult, is because we are very focused on the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what we have noticed in the past is our kids, right? Our B team, whatever you want to call it, they are competitive enough to manage 60 minutes. It's not like against
Yes.
Southampton, if we played Lewis Kelly, Nwaneri, we would have considered some 6 goals, right? We would have still
Yeah.
considered the same 1 or 2 goals at the most, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we could have
Right.
put on like how we did. See, we won only because of our substitutions. The current team did not do much apart from concede that stupid goal, right? So, but the thing is that that's all. We need to trust ourselves in that situation that yes, we have enough firepower off the bench to deviate the game in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the
Right.
speed of our bench, right? The speed of our bench can kill any tier one, tier two. Sorry, when I mean tier one, I mean the championship, not the Premier League. The championship and below teams, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because we have such quick pace, right? If you had seen yesterday's City's game, Adama Traore could have scored a hat trick in the first 25 minutes, but the poor guy cannot finish.
Yeah. And Pep
Right?
had to coach
That
him. Kind of.
Yeah, the brute pace that we have on our bench from our players, like how Gabriel Martinelli comes off the bench, and the best part is we have Trossard who comes off the bench who can always score, who can
Yes.
always score. Right?
Yeah.
Even if people
Like
are hating
I
Jesus,
agree.
Jesus can't score and all, but Jesus can run. Jesus can track the ball, will still tackle and get you the ball back. We have these people. It's just that we have to be tactically smart enough. One day we have to sacrifice 60 minutes of our Premier League games to ensure we win the Carabao. That's all we need to do. Unless and until we get on to a bigger team.
Don't you think
I
the
agree.
first 11?
Winning Carabao in January does give a boost, but I don't know whether as a club we don't prioritize the tournament, or maybe because we haven't
No,
won it
it's
in
because
eternity.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
that's why we don't. We have kind of stopped believing in that tournament or stop giving import. Like
No, it's not
so
like that.
we all,
Ankur,
we
if you
all are
remember
part
last
of
season,
the
if you
one second, Gautam. We all are part of the WhatsApp group that we have, and before the game against Bolton, the overall mentality of folks around in that group was play the kids, lose the game, crash out. Do not want more games in this season. Play the so that is sort of the mentality that's been around amongst fans and amongst club also. I don't know, maybe, but yeah. Having said that, if we can win the trophy in January, why not? And as
So
Gotham said,
the
it
same
can
the
be
same
managed.
fans the same fans will cry and hurl abuses and Arteta for losing against Bolton after even though saying, hey, it's okay, man, small game, leave it. Now the point being, see, Ankur, why we never focused on Carabao Cup is because if you remember, our major injury structure cycle has always been the AFCON, this thing, the
Yeah.
Conan Bowl, and all that.
Yeah.
That is your December to January, and we tend to play most games in December. You remember Jesus was out. We had Nketiah. We could not play Nketiah every single game in the Carabao Cup. The point is that now we don't even start Jesus. We start Havertz in the striker first, right?
yeah.
Now we have enough and more people ready in that position. All we need to do is sacrifice 60 minutes of a game. and our
Yeah,
defense is capable enough to hold on to 60 minutes.
yeah. So in that
Right?
case,
My point is
Gautam,
that.
yeah, Gautam, I'm just trying to like elevate that to something, because it's not about the trophy benefits or trophy happiness that I'm trying to bring that Arsenal should win the Carabao Cup. The only reason being, last two seasons at the end, let's say we lost the game against Aston Villa, because it was the end of the season, so which was like making the team more tensed or something, or not being confident. Or the season before that, Southampton 3-3 draw, then Saliba's injury, we had issues with the wins and everything that led to us being second and not winning the league for the last two seasons. So winning the Carabao Cup, they'll have a confidence and a belief on themselves that they'll be able to win the Premier League. Is not can we not think like that, or the can that will not boost the team? Vinay, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree to you and Gautam on this part. I also agree that what Ankur said is majority. I think putting it short, if we reach the semi-finals, we go for the trophy. Winning it in Jan will be a huge morale booster. I agree to what Gautam said. None of these players have the current playing 11. I've seen that they have lifted a trophy. I think Declan Rice won the conference nations or whatever for West Ham before he came here. But at Arsenal, these guys haven't won a trophy.
Havertz won Champions League.
Havertz won Champions League, yeah. But realistically, at Arsenal, none of the first 11 have won something. So I would totally agree. If we reach the semi-finals, still then I still think, knowing the mentality and knowing the fixture clusters that's going to happen around the same time, I think it's going to be like this. Let's play a mix of what we consider on the day, like say when next we play Preston away game. But I think it's still going to be a mix of whoever are considered our bench strength and a couple of our defenders, and maybe Merino plays in such games, or even Partey plays. But I think once we reach the semi-finals, that is, if we reach the semi-finals, I think you take that as two knockout games, and that's it. Play your best 11. I think the last time we played a finals was 2006, I think, Chelsea final, where we
No,
lost the first.
we played
Baku,
2013 or
Baku.
14 against City. We played
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
City
talking about
as well.
which one are you talking about?
Yeah, that was a disaster.
Carabao final. We played once with City, right?
Carabao
Carabao was City.
series.
City.
It was three
City,
zero
City.
something. Could have been 8-0. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
that.
yeah. One of those
I
Yeah,
games.
think
yeah,
the
that one.
Chelsea
One
final
of those
played
games.
youngsters under Wenger. Uh, First 20 minutes were outstanding at Wembley, and then the nerves took over, Drogba took over, and they won 2-1. So,
Hmm.
knockout, if we get into the semi-finals, play your best 11. I agree to all of you. Win the trophy in Jan, huge morale boost, huge lift up. If we are still close in the Premier League, that I think could be a massive boost. Totally
And
up for that.
also, guys, one more thing that we tend to forget is we don't see the teams that we are against, right? Right now, Tottenham and this thing will take out one another. Newcastle and Chelsea will take out one another, right? We don't give a crap about United anymore, right? So
Yeah.
there are teams. Then you will have only 3 to 4 teams to compete against. What if they remove each other out? We have to be tactically capable enough to win all the small. That mentality of a chota club, let us leave it. Bolton will leave it, whatever happens. Win that. What if you got another small club? What happened with United? They went to the finals of beating Fluke Coventry. We could have thumped Coventry if you had taken our
Yeah,
FFP series.
I just wanna pitch in there, just like is our team not not the A team, but the depth we have, is it not capable of getting the team at least to a semi-finals of this competition? Because when I saw yesterday's match we had a rotation in that squad. So I believe that that team was capable of beating Southampton at least 3-0 yesterday. But first half was a very different case. Then we had to bring on our main players, or our also the Martinellis and Trossards to get the game going. So is that our team not good enough to make a statement in the Carabao Cup? Like the second team. I'm not talking about the A team, but the our depth is quite good enough, right? So what do you guys think about that?
No, I believe the team we have that strength, and as Gotham said, right, just twist it around. It's about managing 60 minutes. We all know that yesterday our first choice players only came on and brought in the impact. So one of these Carabao Cup games, if the kids or the boys around are not being able to bring that much impact, we know that from the bench we can bring those couple of 2 3 players of our main team, play them for those or 20 25 minutes, and we can still get a result out of it. So it's just as Gotham said, you have to tactically manage those 50 60 odd minutes of your regular Premier League playing 11, like the likes of Saliba, Gabriel, Havertz, Rice, Odegaard once he's back. So those players we needs to be managed. Apart from that, yeah. And
I mean,
like one more
Ankur,
thing
Ankur
for
bought a
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
Gautam.
sorry, Ankur bought a Odegaard. I had to interrupt because we thought without Odegaard we would die. No, we're doing well. The thing is, you need to trust the team. See, people are like, oh my God, he sold Vieira, he sold Emil Smith Rowe. People are crying. I watch a lot of YouTube, if people don't know, right? Talk sports, all these nonsensical idiots. They talk, oh my God, he sold Vieira. He shouldn't have. He sold Emil Smith Rowe. He shouldn't have. Who's going to play instead of Odegaard? Havertz cannot do this. Havertz cannot do that. Party can't do this. Party can't do that. Now he's proving his point,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah,
reason,
Yeah.
yeah, I know Havertz. I have been a big supporter of Havertz from the start with you, Ankur, right? Because I always saw him a different Havertz at Germany when he had Ozil with him, when he had Kroos with him, and a different this thing when he was at Chelsea, right? So I know Havertz always had that some insect in him that he just needed to prove, and he's very happy in proving a point, right?
yeah,
So that's the type of players we have, and why people see. I am a very, I mean, if you, I mean, people who know me from quite some time, I've been a very big supporter of. I'm a bigger fan of Emil Smith Rowe than Saka. I'll be honest, right? Because I've been seeing from Emil Smith Rowe beforehand. Technically speaking, he was a player like Perez, like Rosicki, who used to be quick on the ball, like a Fabregas, quick on the ball, very good to have a vision. But the one thing he lacked, like Perez, was body strength, which I feel that is very important for a midfielder in Arteta's position to have. Because I didn't see Emil Smith always attacking backwards like Martinelli does. Even though Jesus will not score a goal for you, but he will track the ball back with a defender or with a striker to ensure he tackles the ball back. That's what I felt. That's why I felt Emil Smith go, and I was the saddest person to see him go because I was the biggest ESR fan. Trust me, till this day, I prefer ESR over Saka. It's a personal choice and opinion, right? Because I always felt he's naturally more gifted. To the eye, he is naturally more gifted. Saka is like he has the physical strength and energy, he likes to show it. But technically, I always felt ESR was more gifted. That's why I felt that ESR had to go because he did not have the strength to do both the things. Like he was somewhat like Ozil, where he will not do all the things that a manager needs him to do, but the one thing he has to do, he will always do.
Yes,
yeah,
Right?
that's very,
We
very.
have enough players. We have enough players, and our academy is not bad at it. Right now, the point is we need to use our players. Like where Uncle was speaking, I was seeing in the Carabao Cup, the only teams that are remaining are Liverpool versus Brighton. One of them will take each other out. United, Leicester, Palace, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, Preston, Stoke City, Southampton, Brentford, Sheffield Wednesday. Right?
Yes.
Now you see this, we go through.
So
What if we get
yeah,
the one
I
of the
feel apart from Arsenal, all other fixtures are mostly Premier League team playing against a Premier League team. So a big host of Premier
yes,
League teams are getting knocked out
yeah.
this round.
yes.
Four
No,
out
no.
of
The point
yeah,
is that yes, especially the top
Anyway,
Premier League boys, because Southampton is still playing Stoke. Right. See, the thing is, we can end up getting one of these low line teams and end up in the quarters and the semi-final. That's to take it seriously, right? The point is that we like people say Bolton है छोड़ दो, Premier League पर focus करो. What is the point? Beat Bolton. You can beat Bolton, man. It was so easy to beat Bolton. I'm pretty sure we would not. We didn't even hit the fifth gear in that game. If we would have, we could have scored 10 more goals in that match. I felt so.
True. Yeah, well over 45 minutes, guys. Yes, now let's just go around our upcoming fixtures, and we'll slowly, yeah, end the discussion in another 5 to 10 minutes. So yeah, upcoming
Before
fixtures are
before
yeah.
we go around, Arun, Deepak, I want to put you hosts on the spot. You guys have asked us a lot of questions, controversial questions, asked our opinion. Now you tell us your opinion about Premier League or Champions League, winning the Carabao Cup or not, and is it Mikel's time? Those three questions that you guys asked,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, I'll start pitching.
Yes.
So the first thing that I would say is, uh, champ Champions League. There is kind of, from heart I would require Champions League win, but from mentally or checking it realistically, based on the situations, we should win Premier League this season. The reason being, what I felt is, the season that we, let's say everyone says the bottled version like 2 years back, we lost Saliba and Tomiyasu at the same time by the last 10 games. That's where our dip went. This time, during the start of the season, we lost Odegaard somewhere down the line. Marino was not there. Still, our team was able to like hold on to City, win against Tottenham, and win against Aston Villa. More on the away games as well. So that has boosted our confidence within Premier League. Champions League, we would require more of a boost and like more of a confidence. So Premier League, to be fair, and then winning a Carabao Cup is a must, is what I feel, because seeing the fixtures and everything. So that will, as we discussed, that is a morale booster. So that will ultimately help us give a mentality to win the Premier League and go till the end. And Mikel Arteta, I'm a strong believer, as all Arsenal fans right now. So he should be there unless and until he decides to leave. Let's say what Vinay said, that would be the same point of view. Nothing much of a difference in conflict. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, Premier League, Champions League, my always preference was to, because we have already won the Premier League around 13 times. We have been the third best club in the country when it comes to winning no Premier League English trophies. I want my team to have that European success over, that's my personal choice, because it feels big, because for the size of a club like Arsenal, we have around, like, when we check around all the teams, the global fan base and everything, so much big, such a big club, and it deserves to have a European trophy. I mean, yeah, so definitely UCL is one of my priorities. But saying that, I kind of align to a point that Deepak said now as well, because uh, we have to win the Premier League also, because we have to. There was a very good point that Ankur also raised, because you told that we need to become the champions of England, then we become the champions of Europe, which is a very fair statement as well, when you look at it. But it's just a personal choice that I have this very attraction towards the UCL, because that's a big trophy. And as I said, Real Madrid have won it a couple of times. It's not pure because not just because of they are such a very good footballing team. They don't have to be footballing team to win a UCL basically. But yeah, it's just that UCL is something, a prestigious trophy for me. So yeah, definitely I go for UCL. And as for what was the next one we discussed on? Is it
Mikel
Mikel?
Arteta. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mikel
Mikel
will
Arteta
stay.
has been a big defender from his start, like winning that FA Cup from in that fashion, because we had one of the weakest sides we have ever seen in our, as a fan, and still we winning the cup over City and Chelsea was something special for me. He managed that games very well, and I was so happy to see him manage. Then his progression was I really loved how he built the fan base. He just removed all the toxic whatever thing was there at that time, and he is also developing new players now. He is coming with the Banyeri, because I saw how he transformed Saka into the right wing, and I also saw I'm also seeing how he's transforming Luis Kelly and Vanieri. Like I'm so happy to have him here. So yeah, hopefully he still stays here. So, but you never know.
Yeah. One last question before we end our first episode with this podcast. So, is this the best team in our Emirates era? Vinay, all you one by one you can shoot. Is this the best team in our Emirates era, not the entire Arsenal, the Emirates era?
Hmm. I may take two teams as a comparison. This team versus the 2007-8 team, the
Okay.
Fabregas, Kleb, Rosicky, that set of players. And as much as we hate him, Adebayor was fabulous in that season too. So does Harvards remind me of Adebayor? Not really. But if you look at the overall defense, we have lost leagues because of the defense. I can't think of a better defense than this. So goals may make the score lines flatter the score lines, but defense wins the league. So in that way, I think this is the best defensive team of Arsenal that I have seen after 2003-4.
Yeah.
I have not
Fair,
seen a
fair,
better
fair.
defensive team. I don't think so.
Ankur?
I think even now, the biggest shock for people who've been watching football, I mean Arsenal for this long, people like me, is the fact that we are just expected to win every single game. We never had this. We are now thinking like we will win every game. And there was an people call me pragmatic or realistic or probably negative at times. When I say I'm okay with the draw at times, it's probably got to do with the mentality that we have lost so many times when we were winning, but now you don't feel that. So that
Yeah.
way, this is arguably the best defensive team I've seen after 2003-4.
Yeah.
True. True. Yeah,
Ankur,
Ankur.
Bichin, same question here.
Yeah, I think Vinay, quite a lot of agreements we are having, by the way, very unusual. So I will also agree with Vinay. I think defensively, this is the best we had in the Emirates era. Uh, Again, comparing same with 2007, 2008. Funny, Vinay forgot mentioning about another certain player whom I'll mention, whom we all love slash hate more. Samir Nasri was also part of that team. Uh, but yeah, defensively we have been the best, starting from not only defender, the goalkeeper also. So yeah, defensively it's a much better team, and that's why we believe also we cannot lose the game because we are so strong in our defense. We do not expect us to lose the game.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, the City game also, where we knew one entire half we had to play with 10 men. But on any other day, we would have taken the draw. It wouldn't have hurted us as much it hurt us on that day. I
Yes.
agree it was the
Yes.
Yeah.
final kick of the game, but we saw that fight for entire 50 plus minutes. We all were in
Yes.
screenings, but yeah, so because we are defensively so strong, and arguably this is the best defensive team of Emirates era. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel in every football game, it's the midfield and the defense that wins you trophies. Strikers will score goals. So
Yeah.
in that sense, yeah, it's probably the best we have.
Yeah. Perfect.
True.
Gautam, yeah.
Well put by the other guys as well. Right. What I believe is also the same thing. Previously, 2007-8, what used to happen is we could outscore any team.
Yeah.
Right. The explosion of the bench. Let us say your Adebayor is not able to do anything. Right. If your Van Persie is not able to do anything. We used to always have Nasri. We used to have Wilshere. We used to have Fabregas. We used to again get Theo Walcott, who was a super fast pace magician at that time, who could beat anyone, who could outscore any team that we want, right? And that
Yeah.
season, I believe we lost is because of having lack of having a central defensive midfielder, because Abu Dhabi was always injured, right? And
Yeah.
he never found a replacement for Diaby.
True.
And now, thankfully, the focus. I mean, I always believe that Arteta read Arsenal from the pages of history is because if you remember, I mean, like I told you, I divulge myself into a lot of YouTube and documentaries, right? The structure of the team is how George Chapman and George Graham had structured their team that based on a strong defense. To this day, you will hear Roy Keane, Ian Wright, Gary Neville talk about Tony Adams and his leadership and his defense.
Yes.
Right? If you remember them United fans talking about Arsenal players when they're at England camp, listening to them. If Tony Adams told you something, you always listen. That respect, no one has received it. Right?
Yeah.
That is because that commanding defenders we had, and now we have that. Right?
Yeah.
The last time we had a great commanding goalkeeper was Jens Lehmann.
Yeah.
Right? And now everyone felt it was Ramsdale, but I keep remembering telling Ankur that there must be something behind Raya is because why does the manager want someone so badly?
Yeah.
Right? There has to be a reason behind it and always take some time to prove himself, right? It can't be immediate, right?
Yeah.
You see,
And I also always used to add up to Gotham that we all love Ramsdale, but there must be something that Ramsdale is lacking, that he's a third choice in his country.
Yes.
Like we all know Southgate had his own plan, but he was the third choice. Pickford over Ramsdale is a joke of any day, but he was still
but why?
So he was used to be third choice.
Why Pickford Ramsdale is because Pickford was a dominating character. He would literally hurl abuses at you if you screw up. Right?
Yep.
You need that backbone. Right? See, you remember Joe Hart. He never used to even let the ball boys relax. He used to abuse the ball boys. Give me the ball. You remember the famous videos, right?
Yeah.
It was always you don't see aggressive keepers. Right? You see Raya is very aggressive. You see Ben White is so aggressive. You see Calafiori is so aggressive. There's a right sort of players. He's picked up from what the spine of Wenger's team and Graham's team used to have. And then the flair of the second half of Wenger's team. That is an attractive midfield. A beautiful winger. Yes, we used to have Henry on the left, but we have Saka on the right now.
I'll add one point, like one liner for the Raya Ramsdale one. I would say passion more for Ramsdale and aggression more for Raya, which the opposite side. So aggression less for passion. Raya doesn't show that much passion as Ramsdale, but he's having aggression and dominance. That's the only difference. That's the reason why Raya was chose more.
And Raya fits the puzzle. Like he fits
the
system. He fits that.
Yeah.
I know. See, I'll give you the best
I would
example.
still not call Raya
Everyone-
the best goalkeeper in the world. He's not the best in the world, but he is perfect for this system that we are playing. That is important.
Same thing. I'll give you a better example. Who's the best goalkeeper in the world? Everyone tells Alisson or Courtois, right?
Yeah.
They will suck at the City team. They'll be the worst keeper in the City's team. Why? Is because they do not have passing accuracy. Ederson's passing accuracy, Ederson's calmness on the ball is what Pep wants in all his keepers. Right? That is why if you realize in Pep's management history, only Neuer and Valdez never got replaced. Otherwise, how many goalkeepers got replaced in City?
Yeah.
Right. So every manager, that's what I feel. That's why I feel Arteta is the best, is because he's learned from so many people. See, that pragmatism of changing substitutes, going back to a back six, that is a Moyes type of. Everyone gave credit to Mourinho. They forgot that he played under Moyes. A good Everton Moyes, if they're leading, they used to throw Fellaini, which we do with Havertz, and push everyone in the back.
Yeah.
Right? That's what a pragmatic or a good David Moyes used to do. Right? He knows what Wenger does, he knows what Pep does, he knows what Moyes does, and he's seen the Arsenal throughout the years where we were successful. That is why I agree to the point that yes, overall structurally we are the best team currently in the Emirates era. Right? Yeah. But let us say if you just have terms of explosiveness, it would have been that team, because in the depth also they have a lot of explosive players. Right? Here we have our base is the strongest we have seen, I would say, post Campbell and this thing era. The 2-3-4 era. I have never seen such a good backline. After Vieira, we never replaced Vieira. I feel Vieira got replaced not only by one player but by three players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
any which
we
ways,
have,
Gautam, it's 1 hour,
it's been
proper,
we have
passionate
reached,
talk. Yeah, pitch in, Arun. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we've reached now 1 hour of podcast, which has been really, really great conversation. I'm sure that I mean, it can go even more. I know that because we can't just never stop talking about it because that's how passionate we are all for this football club as well. So, yeah, definitely we will be coming. We will be doing this regularly, mostly every month once or twice in a week, depends on how everyone's schedule is. But yeah, I really enjoyed this podcast, guys. I really enjoyed all our conversation and discussions, and I felt we need a more we will dive into more recent current Arsenal fixtures and everything in the next podcast, in the next episode as well, so that after the international break, we'll be discussing. We'll have a couple of really exciting matches are coming up as well. So definitely we'll be going through all of them. So yeah, sincerely, I'll really thanking you, Gautam, Ankur, and Vinay for coming into the stream and giving your time for this podcast and discussing with us here. So yeah, it's been a really great time to have you guys. Anything you wanna say at the end of the show, or can we just wind up?
Thank you for the invitation,
Thank
guys.
you. Thanks a
It was a
lot
fun
for
conversation.
having us. Yeah, it was a fun
No
conversation.
worries.
Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Definitely,
If
definitely. Thank you so much.
one or the other day we could do this live as well, where we're all together and having a conversation,
Yeah.
that would be a
One
nice.
thing is, for that, either we'll have to come back to India or you'll have to come to
I
UK. Currently, we are in UK.
I know,
That's
I
why
know,
we'll see.
I know,
We'll
I know,
see.
I know.
One day we'll
We'll
do
We'll
that.
figure
definitely.
something
I
out.
mean,
We can do
or
something
or
from
what
the
we
screenings.
or we can yes, or we can do something from the screenings where we Bangalore guys are together and you guys are together in one place,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we can also. I don't know whether we
Yeah.
can host a screening live, but that will be difficult. But yeah, we can do something or the other.
Yeah, no problem. We'll think about it for sure. So, any which ways, thank you all. Vinay, thank you for joining. I know we are busy schedules for all of you. Thank you. So, 1 hour, and let's catch up in the next episode. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.